Oh my God, look at what's right outside of our door.
Here we are, staying at our hotel. This dude pops up. And there was a little goat not 5 feet from our door that walked by, and I thought to myself, okay, that's an omen. That's some kind of ancient Greek symbol.
That is so true. Oh my goodness.
It was almost like, Capitol Reef, these cliffs started just like almost to the road, just these huge walls of stone.
Just pure rock cliffs, and then the forest kind of growing along the edges where they can take a hold, and the road slicing right through. You just have views all around. Everybody, welcome back to another episode of Two Up and Overloaded.
That's us.
Yes.
I'm Tim Notier, and this is my wife,
Marisa Notier.
And together we make up Two Up and Overloaded, along with our KTM 1190 Adventure R.
We've traveled all over the world on a motorcycle, two up together. We've been through the Americas, all the way down to South America, to the very bottom of it. We've been halfway up through Africa, and now, in this season, we are journeying... I can never get this word right. And now, in this season, we are journeying up to the top of Alaska and coming back down to the United States. In the last episode, we found this wonderful town of Radium Hot Springs.
Cool, look at that.
Oh, look, here's the hot spring.
Yeah.
I think it looks cool.
I think it looks hot.
I mean, hot.
Yeah.
It doesn't sound like it would be
No.
the greatest place to be, but it was actually really awesome. So this is our hotel room for the night. Look how cute!
We needed to do some laundry because we had stunk up our clothes, at least I had.
Yeah.
We found a nice little place to
Yeah.
stay at.
What we really wanted to do was, since we had ridden down the Icefields Parkway from Jasper National Park down to Banff National Park, we loved the road so much that we thought, it was such a shame that we saw it only in this smoky haziness. Wouldn't it be great to ride this road when it is clear and we're able to see more? So we decided, yes, we're going to wait out a day in Radium Hot Springs.
We asked the gods that night, and when we woke up the next morning, I walked outside.
Oh my God, look at what's right outside of our door.
Staying at our hotel. This dude pops up. And there was a little goat not 5 feet from our door that walked by, and I thought to myself, okay, that's an omen. That's some kind of ancient Greek symbol.
That is so true. It was an omen. I mean, this goat was right outside our door. So Radium Hot Springs, it has radium in the name, so I wasn't too sure that this should be a place that we should stick around in.
For sure.
But with that goat right outside the door, I was like, wow, this is a very special place. And it turned out that the day that we spent in Radium Hot Springs, we saw so much wildlife within the town of Radium Hot Springs.
Around the cul-de-sac.
Yeah, the big intersection.
Yeah.
There's a deer just crossing the road over there. Oh, another one. Ooh, whoa.
And we saw more like wildlife than we had in like almost all of Alaska. Now we didn't see any muskox.
No.
And we didn't see any caribou.
No.
But we saw goats and we saw little deer that were cute. We saw wild turkeys.
I know.
What do you say? It was like a town interactive petting zoo type scenario. It was really, really, really cool.
I don't know if you can see, but there is a big buck trying to cross this road here. See him? So the other two young males successfully crossed the street and they're here with their brethren. So these deer that we saw there in Radium Hot Springs are called mule deer. And they were a type of deer that I wasn't really used to seeing. In the States, usually I'm seeing white-tailed deer, but these were so cute and they had such fuzzy antlers and they were just a very unique looking deer.
It was kind of funny. I woke up in the morning and I walked to the supermarket just to get us some, basic food because we were staying an extra day. And as I'm walking down the main street, like the big symbol of the town are these two big ram horns that are in the middle of the roundabout. And then I see like the statue of this mountain goat, and I'm like, hey, it's kind of cool,
Yeah.
And then the statue came alive out of like Ghostbusters, and started moving around and it was like, whoa, Billy Goat second here. And that's when I noticed like I was amongst like Noah's Ark's, stop one.
At the median next to the gas station in Radium Hot Springs. Good morning, everyone. Today is, all right, I don't know if we're crazy or what, but we liked that ride that we did, the Icefields Parkway from Jasper to Banff, so much that we've decided we're going to do it 2 more times. Oh. Yes.
We want to be able to see it without the smoggy smoke, but we'll see if that happens or not.
Yeah, there was so much smoke that it was really, really hazy when we went. So we're gonna go from Banff up to Jasper and then from Jasper back down to Banff again. We're starting today and then gonna be coming right back tomorrow. And the reason why is because we're hoping that the skies will clear a little bit. I'm not sure that's going to be 100% of the case. It's a real risk, but we're gonna try our best and just hope that it's gonna be a little bit clearer to see some of these sights. So the next morning we packed up the motorcycle and it looked to be a clearer day than it had been the past 2 days, and we were so excited to go on the Icefields Parkway again.
That's true.
Here we go. Round 2 of the Icefields Parkway. Before we hit the parkway and before we entered Kootenay National Park, which is right before Banff, we went on a little road that kind of went behind the town of Radium Hot Springs because we'd seen so much wildlife within the town. We just decided to go on this little road and see if we saw anything there. And sure enough,
Hey, dude. What's up? Romp-a-dump.
We saw a goat butt.
we saw a goat butt.
This is true.
We also saw some turkeys, wild turkeys.
We did. So once we started getting back into the thick of the nature that we had ridden southeast from the couple days prior, it was just the scenery was beginning to just pop, and the mountains on the far side of the lakes, instead of just seeing these ghostly images of them, there was a full happy Rembrandt-esque painting portraits of them.
It wasn't impressionist anymore. It was
thanks for nerd sacking me.
surrealist.
It was.
We passed by Bow Lake, which has this beautiful glacier up on top of the mountains.
Is that Crowfoot?
Crowfoot Glacier.
And you never will guess what it looked like, y'all. They could have called it like, you know, like chicken foot too.
Yeah, and Bow Lake itself is so beautiful. All of this glacial water that has the minerals and silt that was carried with the glaciers has this beautifully blue color to it.
Caribbean, you know, like if Jack Sparrow can get there, he would have buried some treasure. It was absolutely beautiful.
Crystal clear. You can see right to the bottom.
It was almost like, what, Capitol Reef, you know, these cliffs started just like almost to the road, just these huge walls of stone.
Yes, it almost looked like Half Dome from Yosemite. Not that I've been there, but those just pure rock cliffs and then the forest kind of growing along the edges where they can take a hold and the road slicing right through. You just have views all around. We came to our little snack spot where we got gas the time before that we had taken the road. We are once again going to have a little snack at the Saskatchewan River crossing. It's called The Crossing. And today is much clearer. Hope you can see the mountains here. Isn't that beautiful? It's been, a much clearer ride and we've been super happy with it. Now we're just eating our lunch. We had a little snack there. Once again, we got bombarded with bees all over the bike.
It's crazy.
There are bees everywhere. There's dead ones, there's live ones.
I don't know why. The bees just love the bike so much.
Carnivorous bees. They're eating all the dead things.
Yeah, there's a lot of bugs out there.
The Last of Us type situation, yeah.
And then we came to the Big Bend, which just goes around, of course, in a big bend. But then it goes up and up and up, and you get a view that we hadn't had because we were coming in the opposite direction.
That valley of the road we came from,
Yes. Finally, we get to this attraction that we had really wanted to see when it was smoky, but it was just too hazy and smoky to get a good view of, and it was the Columbia Ice Fields.
Cannot get enough glaciers. I'm not like, oh, I've seen too many of those, you know.
Right. And it's not just the glaciers themselves, it's the mountains of that valley. I mean, they just crown the valley.
Yeah, this is where like all the glaciers are attacking the same point.
Yeah. can't even count how many mountains there are and how many glaciers there are just tucked in between all the crevices.
And there was the main attraction, right? There was, you know, like the big one coming over.
Yeah,
and coming
Athabasca
down.
Glacier.
Athabasca, y'all. Athabasca.
And there's
like 2 or 3 of them around though.
exactly. So Athabasca is not this one. And it's not that one. It's
Giant mound thing.
yeah. We're gonna walk to the ridge here to get a better view of the glacier, the toe of the glacier. So cool.
And then there was the one to the left of the mountain range too, though.
Yeah, Saskatchewan Glacier.
She knows all the things.
So the year Tim was born, the glacier came up to this point exactly.
Since then, hairline's been receding. And so has the glacier.
And here it is. Some people were taking glacier tours where they could walk on the glaciers. We didn't do that, but it's such a great area to be able to walk on glaciers and
Well,
go
we walked
hiking.
where glaciers once were. There's kind of like
Yes.
this timestamp of every 50 yards or so. I'm making stuff up, but it'll give you the year of when the glacier used to come all the way out up until that certain point.
Everything you see here, from way over there to the glacier itself, has melted since 1992. So it is definitely a lot smaller than it used to be. In the 1800s, it probably would have stretched all the way past the road. You can see some of the evidence of the glacier having been here recently in these markings called striations. The glacier is so heavy, it picks up rocks and debris as it moves along, and it makes these scratches onto the ground and onto the bedrock. It's pretty cool.
I mean, the ride was beautiful, but that alone was worth going back to see. And we
Yes.
still had a whole that was not the end of our, you know, reunion with nature. So
That is correct.
yeah, we got back on the bike.
It was turning out to be such a perfect day, and I started to think maybe this is one of the best roads of Canada. I mean, it's certainly in the running. So as we're going along, Tim's like, hey, I think I saw a road over to the side that kind of looked like a dirt road.
And I said, well, let's sneak down that way.
Uh-huh, and the craziest thing was Google didn't even show that there was a road there at all. So we had no idea where this was going to go.
Yeah, that's where we love to go.
Yes, exactly. But that will all be in the next episode.
This is true.
So thank you so much for tuning in, and I hope you liked this video. If you did, please give us a big thumbs up.
Ding, ding.
And hit the subscribe button below.
Ding, ding. We're gonna get that right in the next
Yeah,
video. Stay
next
tuned for the
time.
next video. He nailed it this time. And speaking of the next video, if you want to see the next video early, for as little as $1, you can hop onto our Patreon. $1 a
right.
month, and you can watch our videos as soon as Marissa creativity gets them out. So we'd love to give you guys some early access. We'd love to see your comments below here, and we want to thank everybody for all of the support. Big shout out to On Her Bike.
Yes.
She's awesome. We spent some good time with her, and thank you for joining the ride along with us.
Yes, thank you. See you next time.
Stay safe.
Bye.
Peace.
They had
Yeah.
just viewpoints for everyone to view it
It was like Niagara Falls, right?
in front of it. Yeah.
It's like you're not allowed to go over Niagara Falls in a barrel anymore.
I don't think it's quite like that.
I think,
but
yeah, unless you're a teacher. I think that's the...
I think it would have been cool to walk on the glacier.
Oh, I thought you were going to say go over Niagara Falls in a barrel.
No.